Ramble.
Thank you to BetterHelp and Fairty for sponsoring this episode. Good afternoon, everybody. We're doing an afternoon podcast today, and naturally, I brought wine because why not? Nobody else seems to be drinking. I don't really understand.
Why not?
Wine. You're not
take a crazy chance
drinking with me.
My liver's a little broken from this weekend. It needs a detox.
I'll pop open with you, Ariel. I'll sell
Yes,
needs a detox.
I specifically got you your favorite wine. Anywho, hi everybody.
Hello.
Welcome to You Can Sit With Us. You can sit with us. I'm Ariel, one of your hosts. I am joined by our producer and producette. We've got Miles and Rainie over here. And then, of course, all of my wonderful co-hosts. We've got Becky.
Hi.
We've got Matt.
Cheers.
We've got Maggie.
Hello.
I'm so happy to be here with you guys. We are talking about all sorts of things today. We're doing a chat episode. But to start us off, Becky brought something real special.
Oh, yeah. So I did have a list that I wrote down, and then I promptly forgot said
Listicle.
list.
Yeah.
My listicle. There is a pop culture phenomenon that has been on my mind recently. So I want to see what you guys thought about it. Mm-hmm. Today we're going to be talking nepotism babies.
Nepotism babies.
Nepotism babies. Do you guys have a favorite nepotism baby?
So what do you mean by nepotism?
Lily
baby?
Collins.
That's a good nepotism baby. So a nepotism baby is someone whose parents are famous. Some people define it as whose parents were also rich. Like, so I know some people consider Billie Eilish a nepotism baby or Taylor Swift a nepotism baby because their parents were pretty wealthy and successful in the careers that they had. My personal definition that I go with is you have to have a famous enough parent that people know who they are. So, for example, probably the most famous nepotism clan, Carrie Fisher, Billy Lord, and Debbie Ryan. Debbie Allen, Debbie Ryan.
I honestly, you said those names and no faces come to my mind.
Really?
Princess Leia.
Yeah, Princess Leia.
Okay.
Debbie Reynolds.
Debbie Reynolds. Yeah. That's why the list would have been helpful if I had it.
Listicle.
My listicle.
I think you have a good memory.
Was it
Yeah.
a physical list?
Yeah, I wrote it down on like a toilet paper roll because we had like one floating around.
You had a toilet paper
Yeah,
roll
I couldn't find a
floating
piece
around.
of paper. I couldn't find a piece of paper.
Putting it in your phone.
It was
I know. I was
Okay.
gonna say, just put it in your
Well,
phone.
'cause
And it's
I don't
always
like-
with you.
I don't like going back and forth between, because I was looking up like ones, I went
see.
from memory of ones that I could think of, but then there were other ones that like I forgot about.
You
So I
know-
had to Google it.
You know what I do?
You wrote it down on a toilet paper roll?
Yeah, like cardboard. It's cardboard.
Becky's our eco queen.
Reduce,
she's not
reuse.
gonna, she's
Reduce,
not gonna just
reduce,
recycle
reuse.
that stuff. She's gonna use it.
Yeah.
But you know what you do, Becky? Because I make a lot of physical lists because
Yeah.
I love making physical lists.
Yeah.
I love the look of my own handwriting, guys.
Take a picture.
Take a picture. Take a picture. And then you always have it with you.
Yeah, I didn't do that. I didn't do that.
Anywho. Okay, so
that's
Debbie
what
Reynolds.
Nepotism
my
babies.
definition that I think we should go with that one. Because like, while yes, having a rich parent does give you a leg up in the world, I think a bigger leg up is if your dad is Phil Collins.
If
Like,
you
that's a pretty
have,
big leg up.
if you're famous enough that people know who you are, you're going to have those contacts in the industry, right? That are going to get you indoors.
Yeah.
Do
Whereas
favors
if
for your
you're
parents.
if your parents are just
Yeah.
rich, then like it'll get you into
kinda buy your way in.
college.
You can buy your way in.
probably.
Yeah, you
but
could
yeah.
buy your way in.
Yeah, yeah.
So
We
your
don't need to
favorite
get into
nepotism
buying your way
baby
into
is Lily Collins,
my
the
favorite
daughter of Phil Collins.
And the breakout star of Emily in Paris, everybody.
Amelie and Perry.
I adore her. I absolutely adore her. I think she deserves all of the credit that she gets. I think she's great.
love that. How
Yeah.
about you, Mags? Who's your favorite nepotism baby?
I don't have one off the top of my head, but if I had to choose, I think I love Maud Apatow. She's
Maud
cute.
Apatow.
Apatow.
Love. I
Yeah.
love that the babies are realizing that she's Judd Apatow's daughter.
Oh,
There aren't many people that
It's a name appetite.
with the
But the kids were like, I saw online because when I was looking, she's like #1 right now because of Euphoria.
Yeah.
Created
Right.
by other nepotism baby, Sam Levinson. He's the son of Barry Levinston, I think.
Who did
Barry
what?
Levinson. He was a director, writer, writer.
You're asking the wrong person.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
It's a
I don't
writer.
remember any of these things.
Look, I had it on my list at home.
Oh my goodness.
But people are just realizing it, and they were calling Judd Apatow an indie director.
Interesting
That's so funny.
choice.
And I was like, that's funny.
Yeah.
And so what does Maud, you said? Maud Apatow, what does she do?
She is in Euphoria. She was the one writing the play that you were recently watching.
her.
Yeah, she's cute.
Okay.
She cute.
She's, what's her name?
Exactly.
Lexi.
Lexi.
Still haven't watched Euphoria. My current favorite Nepotism Baby is Meryl Streep's daughter in The Gilded
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Mamie?
Yes.
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 Mamie Streep?
Yes.
Yeah.
She's in The
Right?
Gilded Age.
I love that. It's a good name.
Wait, who is she in the Gilded Age? Because I've been
She's
watching.
like the
She's
main
the main
girl.
girl. She's the main girl.
She's so cute.
Yeah.
She's Meryl Streep's daughter.
She's Meryl Streep's daughter.
Stop
Yes.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, also deserves all of it. Yeah, no, she's doing great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it is a kind of a double-edged sword, I guess. I don't know if that's what what it should be called, but like some of these people are really talented maybe because they got their talent genes from their parent.
Right.
Oh,
Right.
yeah. 100%.
Or also, growing up in a family where like, performance and being in front of people was, like prided.
Right.
You're going to be like, well, if this is what makes people happy, this is what I'm going to do.
Part of your family culture.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Performance, arts. Yeah. It's a little bit nature nurture, but
yeah. My favorite right now is Dan Levy.
okay.
Love
That's a good
him.
one.
I think
That's a good
he's
one.
great. And he
Tell
takes
us
after his dad.
what he's in. As in tell me what he's in.
Oh, really? He created Schitt's Creek with Eugene Levy.
Of course.
He's
Yes,
David.
He's David.
David.
See, I knew it was going to come to me at some point.
Yeah.
Okay.
David.
So he's David from Schitt's Creek.
David.
Wait,
from
he
Schitt's Creek.
created
and he
it?
created the show with his dad. Yeah.
And his
His
sister's
dad
in
is
it
the
too.
dad.
His dad is the dad. His dad is Eugene
Yeah.
Levy, and then his sister is Twyla,
Twyla.
who works at the restaurant.
The cafe girl.
Sarah. Sarah Levy, I think her name is.
Not Alexis.
Sounds right.
Yeah, not Alexis. Twyla,
Alexis is, right, the sister.
the sister.
Right.
On the show.
Yeah.
On the show.
Not in real life.
It's also confusing. I sometimes I think it's my life when I'm watching shows,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't realize when I was looking up all these, I tried to make my list from people that I knew, like people that popped into my head, like a big one, Liza Minnelli. That's like a super famous, her mom was Judy Garland. Like that's going to open quite a few doors for you.
Yeah.
Jamie Lee Curtis, thinking back to like the older ones, Laura Dern,
Oh.
Gwyneth Paltrow. But then you also have these younger ones coming in now.
Is
the
Julia
creative
Roberts.
Emma Roberts.
Emma Roberts.
Emma Roberts is Julia Roberts' niece.
What's her name who started Girls?
Lena Dunham.
Lena Dunham.
Yeah.
Lena Dunham.
She's technically a nepotism
well,
baby.
also in Girls,
Allison Williams, Brian Williams' daughter. Also in Girls, Gemma Kirk is the lead guitarist of Bad Company's daughter. I think Bad Company was the name. And then also in Girls, I wonder why so many people had a problem with Girls, is Zosha Mamet. Zosha?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how you say her name. Zosha, yeah. Her dad is one of the most famous playwrights. David Mamet. And I think her mom was an
interesting.
actress. But I just couldn't believe how many nepotism babies there were.
I can't get like the Beckhams out of my head. Thinking like, is it Romeo Beckham who is now a soccer player? Like his
really?
father. Yeah, I think like the second
that's
son
funny.
is now like on a football club team.
football
Yeah, like on a
club.
pro team.
It's crazy. Like I don't know any of the Beckham's children's names, and you just
Really?
pulled
I can't
even
Romeo out of your
imagine
head.
them.
Oh yeah, well,
only
I
know
follow
Brooklyn.
them. So there's Brooklyn, there's Romeo, there's their daughter's name is Harper, and who's the other?
Are you a big David or a Victoria fan?
Both.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
Ariel loves all the Beckhams.
I do love all the Beckhams. Also, wasn't there like a scandal between the like didn't David Beckham sleep with the nanny or something?
I have no
Can't
idea.
remember.
I don't know. I know Jude Law did. On Sienna Miller, of all.
I know.
But they have a beautiful child now.
Wait, Cruz. Cruz is the third son.
Beautiful child.
So
out of it.
it's Beckham, Romeo, Cruz, Harper.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. And only one
Lots
of
of
them is in soccer.
Yes, so far. I think Cruz is a model.
I think Beckham is a model. Or Beckham.
Brooklyn. He's a
model.
photographer.
Oh, photographer.
Yeah.
So sorry.
He's a photographer / model.
So sorry.
Yeah. You know, it like blurs the lines.
Yeah.
And Harper is a child.
Aw, it's a
So,
baby.
you know, nepotism in all those children,
In what ways will it bleed in?
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. But yes, I find that family very fascinating. Do you guys follow anybody on Instagram that you're just like, what is like follow? Like, what is this family doing? You know, I feel like for some people, it used to be the Kardashians, you know, where just like they just do interesting things. Like, you know, Brooklyn Beckham's wedding was just in Vogue. You know, it's just interesting stuff. They're just interesting people.
I don't.
I don't think I follow any
I
families.
don't have a family that I
don't
stalk
think
online.
family that I follow.
No?
Celebrities for show.
Show.
Okay,
But-
favorite celebrity to follow.
I'm not gonna lie. Britney Spears puts out a lot of really good content.
I really
She
need
does.
She
to
does put out a lot of
click
good
that
content.
button.
You gotta click that follow.
I need
She's
to click
really
that follow.
freed herself,
She has.
you know,
From the shackles.
From the shackles, yeah. So she definitely, you know, demonstrates that, exhibits that on all of her platforms.
And so you get like some joy out of what she puts out there.
It's very entertaining. I don't know about joy. Sometimes there's some feelings of concern.
okay.
Sometimes it's joy. Sometimes it's, you know, live your life, YOLO,
Right, of course.
Hakuna Matata, all the above.
I think she is she's YOLOing right now.
She's
She's in her
YOLOing.
YOLO phase. And I'm here for it.
I'm probably gonna do a deep dive. I'll go back a couple of years on her Instagram and then like work my way forward just to get the backstory.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Who's your follow, Mags? Doesn't have to be a nepotism baby.
I'm trying to think of like my celebrity follow right now. You're going to have to come back to me. I think I have to think about it. I don't really follow a lot of celebrities on Instagram. I like followed Beyonce. I don't remember if I actually still follow her, but it would just be like one
You
post.
unfollowed Beyonce?
Okay.
Just me. Explain more.
I love Beyonce, but
She's got too many followers.
she wasn't giving me enough content.
It was a lot of like ad
And like
stuff.
beauty. And I was
Yeah.
like, I want like real Beyonce. I want like the fake, the Finsta Beyonce account, you know? I just
you know,
want
she's
like
not running her Instagram.
little
She got
selfies
someone-
here and there, you know, her doing her day to day. Yeah. That's what
was
I want.
This is me brushing my hair.
I do feel like it's the train wreck people that are the most fun to follow. Not gonna
According
lie.
to Matthew.
yeah.
Like Ramona Singer from Real Housewives, she posts crazy stuff and like discloses a lot of information about people that she should not. Like I forgot whose wedding it was, but she like snapshot it, like, you know, like the wedding invitation with like
the date.
the address, the date, the time, the website, the password to get in to the website. So people were like going on and like, you can self-register. So they would go in and self-register for the wedding, not to RSVP for the wedding, but to see who was invited, which of the other housewives were invited, which one said yes, which one said no. Like what they said, like on the, you know,
my God.
the board or whatever.
Yeah.
The
Wait,
chat
how
board
do
or
you
whatever.
know this? Did you go to the website?
No, I didn't go to the website. You know, you just, I saw her do it and then I was like, this is crazy. I can't believe she did that. And then the next day, there were like a ton of people on TikTok.
Oh, that's
and stuff
funny.
talking about it. Yeah.
Is this recent?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to deep dive that later. I think the housewives are funny people to follow. Like Bethany Frankel does these TikTok
Product
reviews now,
reviews.
but they're like the most aggressive reviews. Like she's like, I'm gonna tell you what to buy from the drugstore. This, not this. This sucks. Didn't do anything. And she like throws it and she goes up to the next one. And she's always
She
framed
does.
very low on the camera. So there's
Yeah.
a lot of headspace.
Oh
See a lot of her
my
closet.
goodness.
Yeah.
That's so funny. I wonder if she does it on purpose.
Who knows?
She
She's
probably
like,
gets joy from it.
Who knows?
I'm sure. I'm sure.
Yeah.
It's like her shtick now.
Probably.
Yeah.
That's great.
Probably.
for her.
She's doing skinny girl TikTok.
There we go.
She's working her way in.
Sometimes weather just doesn't work with us. I still don't get how it can be a beautiful 80 degrees on Monday followed by a windy 60 degrees on Tuesday. Luckily, Faherty makes it way easier. They make the perfect clothes for all seasons. Faherty is a family-run brand making high-quality, timeless clothing with modern design and functionality. I recently got a poncho from Faherty, which isn't generally something that I like wear all the time, but I have found that it fits in with my wardrobe like really well. I put it on first thing in the morning and it's like a cozy sweater, and then I take it off and I'm wearing just a t-shirt underneath. It's great. And right now our listeners can get 20% off. Head to fahertybrand.com/sitwithus22 and use code sitwithus22 at checkout to snag 20% off all your new spring staples. That's code sitwithus22 at Faherty, FAHERTY brand.com/sitwithus22 for 20% off. fahertybrand.com/sitwithus22. And now a word from our sponsor, BetterHelp. If life sometimes just feels like a lot, you're not alone. It seems like everyone is working all the time. Everyone has their hands in so many different buckets. And today there are just so many stressors out there. When you feel burned out, or before you get to that point, BetterHelp Online Therapy wants to remind you to prioritize yourself. I'm a huge proponent of therapy. I think it is just so good for your soul, for your psyche, for just getting through the day. You need to be able to talk to somebody about what's stressing you out in your life. And BetterHelp is so flexible. Honestly, I can do video chats with my therapist. I can call my therapist. I can text with my therapist. It's fantastic. BetterHelp is customized online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist. So you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. It's much more affordable than in-person therapy, and you can be matched with a therapist in under 48 hours. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/sitwithus. That's betterhelp.com/sitwithus.
Well, who are you stalking on TikTok?
Oh yeah, who's
or
your
stalking
follow?
on
Who's your
socials?
celebrity follow?
My celebrity follow? Well, obviously, Shawn Mendes.
Obviously.
Love.
It's a given.
Ned, so after your birthday dance party, right? Ned, we were talking about it the next day, and he was like, "What was that super romantic song?" And I
It
was
was Shawn
like,
Mendes.
Ned, we were at Becky's
You have to
birthday.
ask.
It was 100% Shawn Mendes. Like,
Yeah.
I don't even know what song you're talking about, but I will tell you right now, it was 99% Shawn Mendes.
It was one of the slow jams that came on. I just did the Spotify pop playlist.
Oh, I love that.
I didn't even make one. I just did
Pre-curated.
pop.
Everybody else had like a very
Pre-curated.
curated playlist.
Yeah, it was very
So
sweet. I was
funny.
like, I'll just plug in here.
For context, Becky had a
bacchanal.
silent dance party.
Yes.
At my
Her
bacchanal.
bacchanal.
So there were these headphones that you could log on to, and they had 3 different channels, green, red, and blue, and you could switch between channels depending on what got your booty moving.
And it was David's playlist, Zach's playlist.
No, it was Brian. It was my brother.
Brian.
Brian made a playlist. Zach made a playlist, and then I made
Becky's.
a playlist.
Right.
Got it.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. Red was Brian, wasn't it?
I think so.
Yeah. That
Yeah,
one
it
was
was.
super
I think
chill.
so. Yeah.
Yeah.
He had
And
some fun bops from the early aughts.
Yeah.
Was yours was the one that I took a photo of it. It was such a funny playlist. It was like 2000 baddie that makes you feel like a badass bitch, and it was like pink background. I was like, whose playlist is this? It was yours.
I just typed in pop on
You know what?
Spotify.
I bet you someone like I think probably did.
Someone
came
probably
and
swapped
changed
it.
But I was like,
100%.
wow,
Yeah.
this is so specific.
Yeah, very specific.
I love it.
So there's a lot of Shawn Mendes on there. A lot of bops. So I follow him on Instagram. I'm trying to think of anyone else I follow that I'm like, oh, I love.
Looking.
I follow
into your
Zwave,
life.
but she doesn't like post her own thing. She just posts clips from her show.
Yeah, it's all.
And they're just like perfect, hilarious bites that I could watch for hours.
I just love how she makes people feel so uncomfortable.
Her
so
content.
funny.
If you
She, like,
don't
calls them
follow,
out and makes them feel so uncomfortable.
Yes, if you don't follow Zwave, she did a show during lockdown that was on Instagram Live, and she would tell you when it was, and then she would tell you who she was interviewing, and she would interview people and ask them basic questions about Black history, how many Black friends they had. What else? Have they ever called the police?
Do you want to apologize to
Do you want to apologize to any marginalized communities
that you've...
And everything she does is iconic. That's what she says. She'll be like, you did this iconic thing. And Zwave is iconic. But she finally got a show on Showtime. And she has guests on. And she usually makes them
so uncomfortable.
Is the most uncomfortable.
But people know
funniest
going
show.
into it that they're going to be made uncomfortable. It's like Hot Ones, where like you're going to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
If asked, would you do Zwave's show?
Not a chance in hell. There is 0% chance I'd ever go on her show. Mostly because I would laugh way too hard at everything. I just wouldn't be able to keep a straight face the way that she does. I don't know how anyone does. But I do feel like by the end of lockdown, the people she was interviewing did know the questions she was asking about like famous Black people in history. And she's like, okay, you were watching. You remember this. And I was like, funny. I feel like I remember it now too. No, but I would both laugh so hard and then just cry and like be very embarrassed with myself.
There was one episode where she had, what's her name from Broad City?
Oh, Alana Glazer
on, and she's like, it was something about using fossil fuels when they were shooting Broad City, and she's like, do you want to apologize to the future people or the future children of America for using all these fossil fuels and killing the environment for them? Yeah. And she brought on a child that was like crying, and was like, apologize to them.
Oh my God, Lord!
So I died.
Like a child actor who in the back they were like, okay, cry.
He started to laugh, and she's like. And she was, don't laugh.
Don't smile. She can keep a straight face through anything. She also does like comedy music. She did this one song that was, I don't know what the title was, but she sang about stop being poor. She said, let the money trickle down. Let the money hit the floor. And it was a very hilarious take on trickle down economics.
Wow.
So yeah, go follow Zwave. She's a star.
Another
she
deep dive that I will be doing.
Yeah. Iconic, and not a nepotism baby. Huh. Yeah.
Did we get your favorite nepotism?
It was Dan Levy. I think he's my favorite nepotism.
The best
baby.
one.
Yeah. I was trying to remember if there were any nepotism babies that surprised me that I like forgot. I think Laura Dern I forgot about. God, there was someone else that I was like, gonna drive me nuts. Checks Keith and be like, take a picture of that toilet paper roll on the counter.
Who are the Gyllenhaal's parents? Are they nepotism babies?
I couldn't find a direct answer on them. They were listed, but I think they were towing the line of like parents in entertainment.
But not necessarily.
Or like it was like a grandparent was super famous.
No. Maggie and Jake.
I don't know exactly who. Yeah. That was all. That was my pop culture corner. Something on my mind was nepotism babies.
It is so shocking once you think about how many.
Yeah,
how many
literally when I was making this
that
list, it was huge.
Yeah.
And I was like, what
Never really thought about it
what?
before.
Kate Hudson,
Right.
Bryce Dallas Howard. Yeah.
That's so true.
Oh, Ben Stiller's the one that I always forget. I don't know if I listed him. Ben Stiller. Oh, and Charlie Sheen and Emilio Estevez. Those were the ones that I forget about too.
Right.
And the Skarsgards.
You could just keep going.
I know. I feel like I remember female nepotism babies more than I remember male nepotism babies. And I don't know what that says about where my brain is.
You think there are more or less of one or the other?
I wouldn't say when I was making the list that there were more men or women. I don't think I noticed. I did notice most of them were white. Like the ones that popped up were just like Jaden and Willow Smith were the only Black people that were on the list. Oh, and Tracy Ellis Ross. Interesting. Diana Ross. I mean, come on.
Right.
What about
Iconic.
What about Elon Musk?
I said nepotism babies, not babies who benefit from child mining and
His mom, though, she's like.
and
famous actress.
Anderson Cooper.
Yeah.
There's another
Yeah,
male.
Cooper, yeah.
Yeah. And Elon Musk is white.
I know. Think about he wasn't on your nepotism list.
Matt did not break eye contact. He just goes, I know.
I was talking about your nepotism list, not your non-white person
Elon
list.
was not on my list. I think I did. I think most of them popped up as actors.
Yeah, Elon's not an actor. Are we talking
isn't he?
specifically about
Isn't
actors?
he, Ariel?
Oh, fair enough. Do we want to get into it?
Send him to Mars.
What is
There's
the,
nepotism in everything. You know?
That is
what is
true.
the definition of an actor?
There's nepotism in this room.
He's a bad
There
actor.
Definitely.
Oh man. Wait. Okay. So I recently learned who Elon Musk that he was married to, like a singer.
Grimes?
They're
Who's
divorced?
that?
Are they separated?
You don't know who she is?
I don't know
No.
if we have enough time to explain who Grimes is.
Well, go
She's
on.
troubled. She's troubled.
Try.
She's troubled.
What kind of is like?
like
I've
a
never
DJ.
even heard of this singer.
She had a really good album. California was on it. I don't remember the name of the album, but she quit performing because it was like she was not. It made her too anxious. She didn't like the spotlight.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's kind of like an alien.
How do you become a?
Kind of like an alien.
How do you become an artist if
Yeah.
performing makes you anxious?
Over
Anywho,
time, you change your mind.
Over time, you figure out Alex Lewis of Lou Burger is like one of the most deeply anxious people I've ever met. And that little dude gets on stage all the time.
Loves it.
Voice of an
Voice
angel.
of an angel.
Voice of an angel.
So, speaking of following social media accounts, do you follow Overheard in LA?
Yes.
And what's your favorite part about Overheard in LA?
It's just so LA specific.
So, have you ever been quoted on Overheard?
I hope not.
I don't know if you have. I don't know if I have either. I just love it because it's the most ridiculous LA-esque things, like the quintessential epitome of what people think an LA person is.
right?
Yeah.
So
So
absolutely.
if you
green
are
juice in the
unaware
morning.
of
Yeah.
what Overheard LA is, it is an Instagram and Twitter.
There's also
on
Overheard
Twitter?
New York,
Yes.
Overheard
Yeah.
in Boston. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure there's.
Yes.
And it's just people submit whatever random thing they just
Heard
overheard.
out and about on the
Out
town.
and about.
Quote, photo, video.
Just things
Yeah.
that made them pause and say, "That's so LA."
Yeah. Yeah, yes.
So how would you guys describe LA as "That's so LA"? Like, what are like 3 words that come to mind for you? For our listeners who do not live in Los Angeles.
Wellness is a big thing.
Eclectic.
Traffic is always a big
Traffic,
thing
okay.
that people talk about.
I would say bougie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Be bougie.
Yeah, for me, I feel like green juice,
Brunch.
brunch,
Brunch.
yoga,
We also have beach
beach.
here, you know. A lot of cities have
Weather. If it's like
That's
slightly under 72 degrees, people have a cow or above.
it. So true.
Very high real estate prices.
We're just describing the housing market. now.
Yeah, now we're just
You know, that you've run into a celebrity wherever you go.
yes,
Thing. Or
yes.
you went to a
and
party
then the whole
at blah, blah,
celebrity
blah's
thing.
house or something,
Yeah.
you know.
I feel like, and I feel like there's a lot of competition in LA. Just like when you're out and about, there's competition to be, you know, to because there are so many actors. You're sort of at like all of the actors in LA are always competing to be the most this or just the most. You know, I don't know.
Fashion.
Fashion.
I feel like LA is very fashion specific, like versus New York. Like you can
True.
definitely tell kind of the way the different styles go.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
If you're
so
like
so like
Santa
athleisure.
Santa Monica to like Silver Lake,
Yeah.
Highland Park, people dress very differently depending on what you're doing, where you're going, where you're hanging out.
Yeah.
Okay,
So, we're gonna
hit us with some
bop
of those.
or flop.
And how exactly does that work?
You say that's a bop or that's a flop.
Okay, great.
Like you agree or you disagree
Okay.
with things that have been submitted to Overheard in LA.
Okay.
So the first one is, I was the farmer's market. He was Costco. It was never going to work.
I mean, in
Whoa,
LA,
wow.
yeah, 100% bop because that.
Not does this fit LA? Well, I guess does it fit LA, but does it fit you in LA? You know what I mean?
Well, I feel like that just represents 2 like wildly different worldviews. You know,
Yeah.
like one is about sort of buying local and buying small, supporting local artisans. It's like, and then Costco is like, I gotta get the biggest thing at the cheapest price, and then So yeah, the two things you could do both. I get it. You could do both, but I gotta say,
you're saying they represent different worldviews.
I'm saying they represent different worldviews. I'm not saying that those two worldviews can't combine, but sure, if if you have one person who's the farmer's market and one person who describes themselves as Costco, maybe they're not going to be perfect for each other.
Whose toilet paper do you want to use?
Exactly. The farmer's market toilet paper.
Ew, Becky.
Oh my God.
No, you can't even get toilet paper at a farmer's market.
You could
You
get.
can't?
You can't.
Have you ever
Reduce
tried?
vegan.
Anything's toilet paper.
Reduce
Do you
vegan.
guys have you ever tried that the stand where you take your compost to? I bet they have some way to make toilet paper.
Maybe.
Maybe.
But you're not buying your toilet paper in bulk is the point.
Gotta stock up, apparently. Okay, the next one. Let's say.
Wait, nobody else answered. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
This guy just bought me a drink at the bar and then asked me to Venmo him.
I feel like that's just bad etiquette, so I'm gonna say flop.
I'm going to say flop.
That's
Don't
horrible.
offer to buy
That's
someone a
flop.
drink.
Yeah. Though if you're really crafty, you would ask what they would want and then you would Venmo them for both your drink and their drink. Because then they wouldn't know because you're the one who ordered, so you know the price.
Matthew.
Now it's like getting all the free drinks.
Oh my gosh.
Did you guys ever have a phase like right after you turned 21 of like getting all the free drinks when you went out?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, I want to know more about this.
I fell out of
Maggie's
that.
gotta enlighten us.
I fell out of that phase pretty quickly because then I was like, felt bad. I felt like I had to talk to someone. I felt like I owed them something.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's the whole
Slippery slope.
idea is that there's an obligation.
Yeah,
involved.
I was never like the type of
Yeah.
person to just be like, thank you so much, bye. I could never do that.
Did you have girlfriends who did that?
Oh yeah. I had a girlfriend who had a boyfriend at the time and like would get drinks for her and her boyfriend and be like, yes. It was like a con. She would do it.
It was a con.
It was a con. She'd be like, thanks so much. And she'd like leave and give it to her boyfriend.
People do for free drinks. You
Yeah.
know?
The things you do.
Who are these people that are just like, buy you a drink, buy you a drink, buy you a drink?
Some people do that.
Yeah. Shots.
Shots.
Get the party on.
Just trying to
So anytime someone buys me a
up the
drink,
level?
I'm always like, I'll get the next round. Because like I never want to feel like I need to linger. I got you.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
So.
Peace.
Interesting.
Did you go through a phase, Bex?
No, Keith and I started dating like
True.
literally when I turned 21.
True.
So I never got to go to bars and be,
out and about.
I like how you shake your boobs a little bit when you're like, got to be out.
I would always go, oh, I have a boyfriend.
Oh my gosh.
I think a couple times I did say, I have a boyfriend, but if you want to buy me a drink, that's nice. But I want you to know I have a boyfriend and I'm going to walk away.
I
So
haven't
here's
been
a good
asked.
one about dating. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I haven't been. Someone hasn't asked to buy me a drink in a very long time just because I'm usually with Zach and it's very apparent that we're together. We were in Charleston. We were in a college town. There was this little tiny like, baby boy. I swear he was 21 years old. He comes up to me. He's like, hello, I would like to buy you a drink. And Zach is standing right next to me. And I'm just like, I didn't even want to be like, I'm engaged. So sorry. Cause like maybe he just wants to be friends. I don't know. And I'm holding a drink and I look at him straight in the eye. I'm like, oh, okay. And he was the look in his eye, he was like, oh, she doesn't want a drink. And it must be like, because it's a college town, everyone accepts drinks. So he was just so hurt. And
He was shook.
and Zach was like, oh,
Oh my God.
Spotted.
Gossip
Girl.
I mean, it is a fail-safe pickup
Yeah, for
situation
sure.
to buy somebody a drink
Yeah.
because you're like,
let's chat.
yeah.
Because then they feel obligated to talk to you. You trapped. That's how you trapped them.
So it's a transactional relationship.
I mean,
For sure.
or you could think of it as like I'm doing something for you, and it's
now you
like,
have to do something for me.
well, no, okay. I'm trying to remove the obligation. I'm trying to remove the obligation part of it.
I put in my
like,
deposit. Now pay me back.
Yeah. Get out. All right, next.
This one, this one's like about dating.
Okay.
It's, girl, at my age, I cannot afford a man with potential. He needs to be fully potentied.
A girl who knows what she wants. She knows exactly.
I feel like this could have been anywhere.
Yeah.
that could have been
Potentied.
Yeah.
I'm going to start saying that.
Potentied.
Yeah.
I feel like I just saw something on TikTok where the girl said she was talking to the universe and she said, I've learned enough life lessons. I have reached my full character. No more. Thank you. Thanks.
Fully potentied.
Yeah. And I
Potentied.
feel like she's
Potentied.
fully potentied. Yeah. I like that. I feel like that's a good way to describe, like, you don't want someone who's like,
Can't wait around for someone.
you can't wait around for someone to mature, to grow up, or whatever the you know,
Exactly.
thing might be. You want someone who's a fully developed person.
Potentied.
I mean, we all met our SOs before they were fully potentied.
Oh, I wasn't fully potentied either.
Oh, I certainly was not either.
I was not.
I was
I was
not
an
fully
investment.
That was an investment.
Yeah.
We all invested hard.
Just got to potential together, you know?
Yeah.
Potential
Potential
together.
together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's.
And once
I
you
mean,
potential, I feel like there's another level of potential that you got to strive for. You just keep going.
100%.
You just keep
Second
going.
potential.
Yeah.
Would you do
Second
you
potential.
guys ever take like a little bit of credit for your SOs? I don't know. Like,
Absolutely.
yeah.
100%. Do you
Absolutely.
like Keith's hair and clothes or
Because that's all Becky.
the glasses?
True.
Keith didn't wear glasses. He used to never wear glasses. Always
welcome.
contacts. Now
I feel
even I
like-
think it's weird when he doesn't wear them. I'm like, oh,
I feel like I can't remember him with
I know.
glasses
Yeah.
now that you say that.
yeah.
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 I feel like a picture of Keith comes up in my mind right now of him with long hair, bandana, no glasses,
Extra large shirt.
extra large shirt, khaki,
cargo pants.
Yeah.
He loved cargo
Cargo.
shorts. He had like
Cargo.
2 pairs of cargo shorts.
Can
And
we
then
just all
shopping
agree?
once.
Thank God for Becky.
Thank goodness.
Praise be.
He likes it. He likes it. He doesn't
likes
like
it.
making choices about clothing.
Yeah. I get that.
He needs
So
help. He needs
I
the help.
I shop for him, and I
Uniform.
love shopping. So it's a win-win. He
Yeah.
doesn't want to pick out clothes. I want to shop.
I love that.
I like dress him up like a little Barbie Ken, a little Ken, a little Ken doll. I will say the cargo shorts though did have a lot of pockets, so it was good for like, can you hold my phone?
Hey.
Can you hold this? Can you hold that?
I
Now
saw
his jeans are
a
much
woman
tighter.
in Erewhon wearing cargo pants. I think they're coming back.
Whoa.
We'll
Whoa.
see.
Full
We'll see.
circle.
I don't know. It could be either way with Erewhon.
Yeah, true.
You know, I
Put
feel
a,
like
we'll put a
that's
little talk about Overheard
Reduce,
LA Erewhon.
Yeah.
What's the next one?
This one might hurt Becky's feelings.
Everything hurts my feelings now.
It's about her favorite chips.
Uh-oh. What's your favorite chips,
excuse me?
Bex?
Doritos.
Yes.
I'm sorry we can't all like Frito-Lay's plain, and I'll call them Frito-Lay's plain.
Yeah, you need some Frito-Lays in your life. No, this one is very LA though. Okay, guy on the phone yelling to a client. This isn't a fucking $1 billion deal. This is a Doritos Instagram post. Just get it done.
Oh my goodness. This is definitely a social media influencer.
I feel this is so
Manager.
LA.
That's a bop for sure.
That's a
Definitely a
bomb.
bop.
I've certainly said things like that before when it comes to like an Instagram post. I was like, this is not going on TV. there are like 45 asks for a 30-second chit
I know.
chat.
Yeah.
Too much.
Yeah, it's
That's
too
a spot.
if it's
so
too
funny.
specific or something like that, it's like my answer is no. The answer is no.
No. You know, the other thing that we talk about, traffic, but then also the topography of LA, like where everything is. I feel like that's a big thing too.
Yeah.
So this one says, I left Venice at 5, drove to WeHo to pick her up at 6:15, drove to the Valley for our dinner at 7,
Whoa.
dropped her off at 9:40, and then drove home.
Whoa.
I could have flown to New York.
You could have.
You could have.
That's a bop. He definitely
That's
could've-
all over the place.
Definitely
Yes.
couldn't
Why do
have
they
driven New
choose
York.
dinner in the Valley, first of all?
Yeah, number one.
Yeah.
I
He
mean,
lives
I
in
get it.
Venice.
Like you're dating somebody in WeHo and you live in Venice. Like it's sometimes love finds a way, but
Couldn't you find a way in like Santa Monica?
dinner in the valley.
Culver
like
City.
go to Long Beach at that point.
There's some definite, like, if you live on the west side, you have to, like, state your perimeter. You can't be going cross freeways to go get people and then go to the valley.
Yeah.
Also-
That's too far.
Why are you picking them up?
Yeah.
Why are you picking up? Make her Uber.
Yeah.
That's an overheard in LA. Why are you picking them up? Make them Uber.
Make him Uber. I mean, yeah, I feel like that's very old fashioned to pick somebody up in your car because that
they don't have a car.
talk about obligation. That is like, you know, they have to drive you home at that point.
Yeah.
And so what if, you know, you're like, you've crossed a boundary, I'm leaving, you know, then you're like, well, fuck, I don't have a ride.
Uber.
Uber. Yeah. I mean, Uber obviously, but still.
These days. Not back in the day.
Just saying, it's very old fashioned.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say bop. I would say bop. It would take like 8 hours to do that entire drive.
That's a bop. Yeah.
So far.
100%.
And also bad choices.
Bad choices.
Like
yeah.
you could have planned a different evening for yourself
Yeah. Yeah.
and your
That's not
friends.
your full potential.
That didn't require driving.
This last one here says, do they go to therapy? No, they have a podcast.
Attacked.
Matt, is that just you?
That one's funny.
Is that
I actually just came up
was
with
you?
that.
You
Matt
said
did it
that?
right
I just came
now.
up with that. No, that was a real one. Overheard in LA.
Wow. Do they go to therapy? No, they have a podcast.
That's too real.
Real. You know,
do both. Why not do
talking is
both?
good. Talking is good.
Honestly,
talking's good.
nobody would want to listen to us if we didn't go to therapy,
That's true.
right?
I do feel like there's sort of not a double standard, because I feel like it's real or good, but of men on podcasts versus women on podcasts.
Ooh, go on.
What do you mean?
Well-
not having a therapist, but having a therapist.
Yeah. I feel like the male-centered podcasts, at least the ones that are really popular, Joe Rogan. Even today, I was, surprised by Logan Paul when I didn't want to be, because I was watching a clip of
No.
one of the One Direction boys saying he didn't like another One Direction boy, and then saying some thinly veiled racist stuff that I was like, what is happening here? And then it popped over to Logan Paul. And all of a sudden I was watching like a Logan Paul podcast
Whoa.
for 5 seconds. Then I turned it off because not a chance.
You're like,
surprise Logan Paul. Yeah, but I feel like, with all those like male driven podcasts, it's definitely more of a you should go to therapy thing than when I listen to female driven podcasts where I'm like, oh,
Right.
okay. What do you think, Matt?
Yeah.
You man?
Man.
in the corner.
You like Joe Rogan or what, bro?
I mean, you're the one who's watching Joe Rogan. So I don't know why you're pointing the finger at me, Becky. But I just think any talking is normally good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Getting your feelings out there, talking through things. It might be a good idea to have some self-reflection on those things. Like I feel what you're alluding to about the male-driven podcasts is they're saying things that are a little more uncouth.
Yeah.
And they're not self-realizing it. And I think that's what therapy helps people do.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And not just an echo chamber of people.
Validating
Yeah.
those experiences. Yeah.
Yeah. Totally.
Totally. Bop.
Bop.
Bop. Bop. Bop. Well, that was all for a bop or flop. Those are
was
some
fun.
funny ones.
That was really fun.
Those are some funny ones.
This is a
I
good
love
good
that.
Yeah.
curation. Do you guys have any, like, what's the weirdest thing you've heard someone say?
Ooh. I've definitely sent some of my friends some of the Overheard LA posts and be like, was this you?
Was this
you?
you?
Was this you?
It just always reminds me of the Californians. You know, the SNL
Oh
skit.
my gosh.
The Californians.
Ned and I used to watch that when we lived in Chicago. And, we got a kick out of it because it was SNL. And then we moved to LA and we were like, what? It's so real. It's so real. We live here and now it's like the 405.
Yeah.
The Valley. It's just too much. It
Not
truly
the
is.
Love's back.
The Californians.
The Californians. It's good. It's a
My
funny skit. Yeah.
esthetician, this and that. And like,
I was in a movie theater once watching Bombshell by myself.
here in LA.
And where was I? No, I think I was maybe I was here. I don't know where I was actually. I just know it was like maybe
Inconsequential.
Yeah, it was maybe around Christmas because I think Keith was going to see Star Wars for the second time, and I was like, once is enough for me. I've starred the wars, you know. I got what I needed to get. So I went to see Bombshell, and there were these two women next to me that had very thick, like New York accents, and they were talking throughout the whole movie.
Oh my gosh.
Because it was a pretty empty theater, and they sat down right next to me, and they were telling the whole plot before the movie even started.
Wow.
And I was like, I didn't know a ton about it. And I was like, okay, now we know.
It's not what I asked for.
But
You were alone in the theater and they sat next to you?
Yeah. There were maybe like 3 or 4 other people. But at one point, one of the women so loudly, Miles, you're going to have to bleep one word of this. Or maybe 2 words. Bleeping 2. Very loudly goes, she's so loud that I literally like turned and was like,
What?
and just stared at her for a moment. 'Cause I
no.
was like, number one, we're not watching the same movie, ma'am. These feelings you're having are very different from what we're getting from the screen.
Oh my God.
And then I was like, I was one of those times where I had an internal monologue with myself where I was like, if she says something else, I'm going to have to say something. I'm going to have to say something and get up and move. But that's probably the craziest thing I've ever overheard.
Okay.
Is someone screaming that. And every once in a while, Keith will just like bust that out as like a catchphrase. Because it was truly, they got out of Star Wars and I was like, you'll never guess what I heard. You'll never guess.
I think maybe I'll start saying that to you sometimes.
You could start saying
just like in the middle of traffic.
Yeah.
If you're driving, if I'm driving.
Bleeping 2. Bleeping 2.
I'm just going to say potential.
Potential.
That's what I'm going to say to you all the time
your
now.
takeaway.
Yeah.
Love.
That's going to be my takeaway.
Well, guys, that's all the time we have for today. So thanks so much for listening. Be sure to hit that automatic download button. Be sure to rate our podcast 5 stars. Our podcast email is youcansitwithUspod@gmail.com. Please feel free to email us. Send us your questions. We sometimes do advice segments, so look out for those. And be sure to continue wearing your mask, washing your hands, peeing after sex, get vaxxed, get boosted, and be kind to one another.
Bye.
Bye.